live?
Hey, Mark, we're live.
Are we live?
We're live.
All right. Well, you tuned in to 360 Real Talk. This is episode 2, September 17th, 2018. We got a late start. We're normally 10 to 11, but we're a little late today. We were trying to put together some really cool things, so hopefully it worked out.
I think it's gonna be
We
cool.
got our logo up there.
Oh, look at
So, just for everybody tuning in, second episode. We're 360 Real Talk, your source for entertainment, local business, lifestyle, locally and beyond. I'm DJ 360, and here's my co-host, Alex.
I'm Alex.
And normally we have Yolanda covering business, but she's out today with some personal stuff, so we're going to try to cover what she was going to cover. But if we don't, we don't. We'll touch on her little topics. All right, and first up, we always like to do a little silly thing each week. Well, we act like we've been doing this for a while, but second weekend, we've got a little theme going, a little thing going. So this week, our thing is the top 5 things from the 90s I miss.
Ooh, my computer's...
So, my top 5, my favorite is the Jell-O pudding pops. Part of that I'm just being funny, and the other part was they were pretty good pudding pops.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I was looking, it was like rest in peace. It ended around 2010, so it makes me wonder if that's when Bill started his shenanigans.
Ooh.
I mean, we don't know if he's
2010?
guilty or not, so
How old was he in 2010?
I feel like that picture's from 2000 and who knows?
97?
We're-
1997?
I feel like he's been old our whole life. I don't remember Bill Cosby being young.
That's fair.
What's going on over there? There we go. There's feed. So that's my favorite one.
All
But
right.
we got AIM Messenger and Yahoo Messenger. I mean, everybody remembers the AIM Messenger with the away messages, and you could send video. It was like the first really cool thing.
Yes.
When it come to digital stuff.
It was the precursor to everything that we do now.
Yeah, I feel like
Really.
it is too. You know what I mean? Yahoo Messenger had chat rooms. You could find people by location. I wasn't that creepy
You could
internet
find them
dude.
by like ASL.
Yeah, I wasn't really that
Ah.
creepy internet dude, but at the same time, I was a computer nerd, so I was
The
picking up
creepy
girls.
internet dude.
I wasn't creepy about it. You know what I mean? I wasn't creepy about it, but I was. You know,
Did
my daughter's mom. I might have met her on Yahoo
Maybe.
Messenger.
Did you ever catfish anyone?
I never catfished anybody. I'm
Okay,
not gonna
did
send you
anyone-
my best pictures. I look good back then. It was before I started getting fat. You
Did
know?
anyone catfish you?
Oh yeah, I've got some really crazy stories about that. I don't
Oh,
even have time to
man. We'll have
touch
to do
on.
that another time. That's
Yeah,
because
I have a really crazy story with that. So,
Okay.
number 2, drum roll, cereal box prizes. Like, I really miss the
Wow,
days where you bought a
yes.
box of cereal and
It was tricks, and you had the little
yeah,
thing in the bottom.
and you had a prize in there.
And you got
You
in
know what I
trouble
mean?
if you took it out too soon.
Yes,
you
it's
had to
like you
finish
didn't
the
eat it
cereal
down.
First.
It was a big deal. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
it was like that was really cool.
Yes.
So I told my daughter that today. She doesn't like milk, and I'm like, well, maybe if there was a prize in there, and I was like, you have to
If
eat your
there's-
cereal with the milk. Maybe you would have, liked milk.
Maybe.
So maybe not. I'm sharing the live over to my page real quick so we can get more hits, obviously.
Okay.
Fruitopia, I guess that's how you pronounce it.
What is Fruitopia?
It was that really it was the first fruit punch soda that wasn't even carbonated.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah,
I
it was
know
really
what you're
good.
talking about.
I liked the green apple flavor. It was great.
Okay.
MTV when there was music videos
Tell me
all
about it.
the time before
Yes.
the real world, when there's TRL, the music request. I used to wake up and go to school, and while I'm waiting on the bus, I was watching
TRL
videos. You know what I mean?
yep.
That's I remember the day
And
Tupac
VH1
died.
was
I
the
was
same.
Yeah, VH1, everybody, the music videos in general, and then of
Yes.
course, I was just being silly with the Jell-O pudding pops, but I did like them. So, all right, moving on. This week in the entertainment section, I got a couple cool things going on. I'm going to talk to local reggae band head person Adwela from Adwela
Hey.
Up in the Rising Reggae Band.
All right. Reggae.
I'm going to call him. We're going to do a little interview. Let me pull my questionnaire up. And he's going to talk about how he went from local reggae band to, now he's a national touring band.
Yeah, they've
He's
been all
kind
over
of a
the
big
place.
deal. You know what I mean? He's been all over the place. It's kind of a big deal. So, me being a DJ, that's an interesting story, and I kind of want to hear that. So,
Well, and him being local too.
yeah, I
think
like to
it's
support
huge.
everybody local. It's not my genre, but I do, I'm more of a top 40 reggae guy where I'm
Sure.
listening to Murder, She Wrote, and that's the type of stuff I play
Sure.
when I'm playing reggae at the clubs,
Yes.
as a DJ. But he's got that like hippie vibe. I feel like for me, in my opinion, like their sound is like that like vibing, like you know what I mean. It's a party, but not
You
necessarily.
can kind of
Just chill out
just
to
chill
it.
out, just hang out.
Yeah. So let me shoot him a message and let him know we're calling him. Calling you. All this technology. Imagine trying to do a radio show without all this.
Right. So
Oh,
I didn't see your questionnaire
Um,
for them.
oh
So
yeah, I didn't share it with everybody, but I got it right here. Let me share it with you now, just so you can play along with us.
do you talk a little bit about his background?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
I don't want to
So
give
I
it
just shared it
because
with
I know him
you.
too, so I don't want to give away any spoilers.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
kind of
Don't do
getting
that.
at.
Here we go. We're getting.
Hey.
Hello.
What's going on, buddy? It's Mark from 360 Real Talk, giving you a
What's
call,
going on,
man.
man?
Oh man, not much. We got a late start today. We're trying to do some really cool stuff. So yeah, here we are. We're talking to Adwela from Adwela The Uprising Band, local reggae band here based in Fredericksburg. That it went from local to national touring, and I feel like you went pretty quick. Like, when did you start? You started your band in 2014, right?
2014, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I've known you for a long time personally throughout your journey, and I've watched your journey along the way. And I feel like, you made some major moves really quick versus a lot of the local bands. You know what I mean? So that was really cool to sit back and watch and still watch it develop. You know what
Well,
I
I
mean? So
appreciate you,
big
man.
ups on that, man. Like, I'm always a fan. I don't make it out to many shows. I've only been out to a couple, actually. We did a show together that one time, and then I think I come and seen you at Colonial Tavern. Because, being a
Mm-hmm.
musician, I haven't made it out, but I always support and I'm always watching from the sidelines. So,
You're working, man. That's good. That's
yeah, I
good stuff. That's a
mean,
good thing.
yeah, they say it's good to be busy, but you know as well as I do, sometimes we get so busy that I feel like we miss out on a lot of stuff that a lot of normal people don't realize, you know what I mean?
True.
Just
Balance and everything.
yeah, simple things. So, I kind of put together a little interview for you just so I can kind of like really get some good info from you, and really
Mm-hmm.
outline, what's going on with you. So, tell us about your musical influences that kind of like paved the way for you and your creativity type thing.
Well, really, like, obviously Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Jacob Miller, like the trendy reggae. I'm into a little more Gregory Isaacs right now. R. Kelly, believe it or not, people say what they want to say about that man in his personal life, and I don't have really too much to do with all that, but musically, the man's a genius. Master P of all people, like, I grew up listening to, like, the whole No Limit Camp, but really not even the music part of it, the hustle part of it, the
Right,
business part of
right.
it. That's
No, I
really what,
appreciate.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at somebody who really sold CDs out of the trunk of his car and built
Yes,
it into
that's
like
what
a
I loved about it.
multi-million-dollar empire. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's what I loved about that whole era back in the day. I mean, you got Jay-Z and all of them that started out of their trunk. And, people,
Mm-hmm.
we can really relate to that as local musicians and local entrepreneurs because, that's kind of where we started too. You know what I mean? I was bootlegging
But you could do that in those days, though.
Yeah.
Those were the days you could actually sell a record. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now everybody downloads movies, so I can't take my bootleg movies to the barbershop no more because everybody's watching them on their phone. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Mhm.
So, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, I had to talk with somebody the other day about how technology, like, as it helps us, it does, but it depreciates the value of other things. You know what I mean? Because it consolidates things that we used to have, different things for us. But
Exactly. It's funny. My daughter actually says that. She's like, I almost wish I would have grew up in the time that we didn't have technology, so there wasn't so many distractions. She gets on to me because I'm always on my phone, But then on the flip side, she's got her moments when she's on hers, so it's like a back and forth battle. So I think we can all
course.
relate to that. So tell me, what's your experience like? What's it been like doing those local hole in the wall shows over at Colonial Tavern or at the Bourbon Room or just wherever? Really, I've seen you play at places that I probably wouldn't have played at, but I appreciate that you're just like, you know what? I feel like you've always had that mentality, like you'll play anywhere because you want your music to get heard, and that's what it's really about. You know what I mean?
Well,
So
really,
tell me,
we ain't putting the music first and developing the craft first. You know what I mean? It kind of was
falls
a
into
humbling thing
place.
to be able to play those places until, and we just had the mentality, hey, there may be somebody who needs this tonight.
Right.
There may be somebody. The whole adage, people say you never know who's listening. You know what I mean? And
Exactly.
that has proven to be true. It's always been a time where I play some hole in the wall. Like, yeah, there's 10 people in here. It makes you grow as an artist to really hold those 10 people. It's easy to play a pack room because the energy's already up. You just go in there and just explode. You know what I mean?
Nah, I like it. You're right. I tell a lot of my DJs that I work with the same thing. I'm like, hey, man, when you got 10 people in the building, you need to be more creative. Because it's
hard because you can see those 10 people and you can see them react to everything. You can see them react negatively, positively, indifferently. You can see them get ready to pay their tab. You can see them order another drink. You know what I'm saying? You can see them big you up about certain things. You can see them shake their head about certain things. It makes, like I said, it makes me grow as an artist.
Yeah, no, you're right. I can relate as a DJ, you know what I mean? Because I remember when I first started and there would be 5, 10 people, I'd be like, wow, what am I supposed to do with this? And then after some time went by, because believe it or not, more times than we want to admit to, there's plenty of those nights. And at some point, you have to realize, like, oh, I need to figure out how to hold these 5 people and entertain them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I can definitely relate to that, man. Big ups, because not everybody has, especially when you get to I feel like a level like you're at where you're touring and you're opening up for, the Wellers, and I've seen you do a lot of big things. So for you to have that, still have that mentality, that's a great thing to have. That really shows your artist side, and it shows that you care about the music just as much as you do making money and being a rock star type thing. Because when I've been, as well as I do, we come across a lot of local artists that hit a level where they feel like they've outgrown the hole in the wall bars, and they've outgrown, doing charity events or just whatever. So, I mean, that's a big deal right there. You know what I mean? I can definitely relate.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I think with the expansion too, it kind of has been a humbling thing to go on the road and play a place like 2 different time zones away and be able to sell it out the second and third time you play it, and then come home and still have to work hard.
I know, that's the funny part.
Because they don't respect it like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say they don't respect it as a whole, because we do have a great following here.
Right.
We have, sold out a bunch of places and stuff like that. I just think personally, and I always think, and you know what I mean, unless I got the majority of everybody I know coming out en masse to everything, I'll never think it's where it's supposed to be.
Nah.
So, you know what I mean? So it's like, part of me is like, okay, am I happy with where I'm at? No. I'm happy with what I'm doing. I'm just not complacent. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah, definitely. And I mean, and I feel the same way, because it's like I did that with my whole DJ thing where I used to only play Fredericksburg. And then when I kind of stretched out to Northern Virginia, I still get people when I do stuff locally, or I just go out to hang out. People are like, well, what are you doing out? Why ain't you up north? And I'm like, it's almost like they feel like we gave up on the local scene, or we turned their back on them. And I'm like, nah, dude, it's not like that. It's just only so much you can do.
I mean, honestly, in my situation, I'm gonna come out and be controversial and just say it was the other way around. You know what I mean? They didn't respect this till they got on the big stage.
Right. See,
they didn't take it seriously just because it was me.
Right. I mean, and it was kind of the opposite for me. I was good when I was doing stuff locally, but then when I stretched out, then everybody kind of like, I feel like they kind of just like lost respect. Like, oh, well, whatever.
Right, like you didn't keep it real, but exactly. I remember you used to hold it down at speakers and stuff like that, and they just. It's just, you know how it goes. People don't know how to act, man, and they want you. You know what I mean?
Well, and it goes further back. It goes further back with that. You know what I mean?
Further than that, of course. Yeah.
I've been doing the beer pong thing since 2008. You know what I mean? So it goes way back, and I had all the fans, and I had the after parties at my house, and it got to a point where I started outgrowing that kind of stuff, and then people kind of was like, "Oh, why is he acting different?" Well, I'm acting different because I do this for a living, and I want to make it right. You know what I mean? So I can definitely relate. Let's skip down a couple since we're running late. I'm going to click on it. You're in the thing with me now. So what's your creative process when you're creating new material? Break that down a little bit for us.
Marijuana has a lot to do with it.
I mean, most reggae bands, I feel like, I went through a phase with a Jamaican dude that I got really close to in King George when I lived out there. And he was into that style of music that you guys, I feel like you got that hippie vibe, that feel good, that praise Jah, like that whole, you know what I mean? Because in reggae, you got 2 styles of reggae. You got that style, and then you got the gutter reggae, and then you got like the poppy stuff. So it's no different than any other genre if you really break it down.
Exactly. It's just, the thing is, it's like, it's sub-genres so much, but like, I mean, obviously, I'm just joking with all that thing, Herb is like a lifestyle to us, but really, the creative process doesn't have a streamlined thing it kind of happened. I don't know, every different way. I've made stuff up on stage. It's been writing sessions that we're playing. It's been stuff in the studio that just sounded good while we were recording. I've been riding it down the road and something popped in my head. I've been in the shower. I don't know. Inspiration comes at all times, at all mediums. I just try to stay ready for it.
Right. No, that's good because, sometimes I feel like people overthink the process and,
Oh, yeah.
like for me, when I'm super tired late at night, I come up with some of my best ideas. You know what I mean? Or I ride down the road. I don't even listen to music, and a lot of my ideas come to me. You know what I mean? So
right.
It just depends. Everybody's got that. So
I'm the same. People always ask, "How are you a music man? You don't listen to music in the car?" Because I'm always playing music. I'm always rehearsing music. I'm always singing music. I'm tired of my own voice by the time I'm done working.
Right.
I'm gonna hear nothing.
That's how I am too. Like last week, I tried to replay the episode of the podcast. I'm like 5 minutes in, and I'm like, not listening to myself. So
I do the same thing. Hi, Adwela. By the way, this is Alex.
We got Alex over here.
How are you doing?
What's up, how are you?
I'm good.
My love.
Thank you. Thanks for talking to us tonight.
Yeah, no doubt.
Of course.
So I mean, we already kind of touched on the biggest challenge in the music industry. Being that local. Going from local to national and not getting the same love locally as you do nationally. A lot of times I feel like we get more love outside of our town than we do locally, and it sucks.
I mean, that's certainly the truth. However, it does keep you humble because it's like, okay, as you expand, you just start over.
Right.
Because you're going to a new place where nobody know you. So it's just starting to grind in the process all over again. It's okay, get this to where you're feeling okay about it, grow it to where it's supposed to be. Now it's time to plant new seed. And it's always planting new seed.
No, you're right. Absolutely right. You always got to try to get those new fans. You can't really focus on the ones that have come and gone. You know what I mean? You just got to keep growing that fan base.
To me, it's a simultaneous thing to be grateful and give the guys who are already on board a product while still recruiting new people. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I can't take the people who are already in the fold for granted.
Right. No, definitely. Definitely.
So I'm going to jump in.
Those are the ones responsible for us being what we are.
I'm going to give you a question that you don't have in here. So, Adwela, just because I don't know, are you headlining your own shows? Are you going out by yourself solo? Or are you playing with other people in other venues?
It's a mixture of certain things. When I'm touring nationally, it's my thing. I'm headlining my whole thing. So we're trying to make ourselves established as a national headliner. So we didn't jump on anyone else's tour. We're not doing anybody else's jobs, just launch stuff. So locally and regionally, I do have some younger brother bands, if you will. I see the younger ones who are, I'm not going to say younger, just like newer bands who are younger. And trying to do the work in the same way I was doing it. I see the hustle, and I like those type of things, and people gave me some favors and help. So when I'm able now, I just try to give back. Excellent. So there's going to be some more joint ventures going forward, I guess.
There you go.
Right,
yeah, I've kind of seen that. I've seen you just exactly like you said on the road. You kind of do your own thing, and then locally, I've seen you team up with some of the local bands. You know what I mean? So that's always awesome. From
like all over Virginia and the regional scene where I have enough to where, hey, I know I have a draw. I know I can guarantee this. And I know I'm making good money here, and I can afford to at least take care of those guys and give them something for their efforts and talents as well.
Exactly. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's what it's all about, is giving back to the scene and giving back to the community.
Of course.
You know what I mean? So, looking back over your career thus far, like from where you've came from and what you've done, like what do you consider some of your biggest accomplishments that you're most proud of for the effort you've put out?
Well, really, the most surreal moment was opening for Ziggy Marley, obviously, at home.
Yeah,
wow.
And that was at home too.
That's great.
Thousands of people. That was crazy. And it was kind of sentimental to me. My grandfather passed away like 2 years ago, and it happened to be on his birthday.
Oh wow!
So I was like, it was pretty crazy. It was a kind of special day for me.
That's God's plan right there. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? It felt good. And then the first project being released and having a charted album, a top 100 album, with your first try, I knew it was going to do well. I had no idea that we had done that much work and that many people were paying attention.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's awesome, especially like you said, your first project. Hardly anybody comes.
Oh, yeah.
Hardly anybody on a local level or even a regional, like nobody hops out the gate in charts. You know what I mean?
Nobody charts.
It's unheard of.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's unheard of. Right, but that's the thing. Like, unless you're in the business, unless you're in the music scene, the normal everyday person don't care until they see you on TV or hear you on the radio.
Exactly.
But even then, I've seen you do a lot of stuff where you've hit the magazines, you've hit the radios, like you've had those.
Been on TV in Utah, TV in DC, TV in and it's like, on the morning news in Richmond. Is like, okay.
Yeah, what more?
We've pretty much been around the spectrum, you know what I mean?
Exactly. What more do you got to do? You know what I mean? I see your post.
You win a Grammy, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. There's still gonna be people hating
You
because
diss Eminem. That works.
You win too.
yeah, because you won and they didn't. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but the struggle is always real. It's like the more you do, the less they notice. At the end of the day, it's like
But you know what though? There's no shortage of motivation. I used to get mad at it, but I'm like, you know what? You always have something to work for now.
right. I mean, that's me too. I feed off the negativity. I feed off of.
I feed off it.
I do too. I know you do because I see you. Like, you know what I mean? You're really
But
out.
these days, I'm telling you, especially like I love what you were doing last week, talking about the rap beef and stuff like that.
Right.
Yo, it made me look back to the hip hop days. I'm like, yo, I want the smoke, please.
Exactly. Please bring the smoke. Speaking of which, yeah.
I want all the smoke, please.
Look. So speaking of which, let's touch on that for a minute. You know what I mean? So,
All right.
of course, the Eminem and MGK beef still going. Who do you think? Let's take out the fact that Eminem is like a legend.
You can't take that out.
But you got to for a second.
Take it out.
But here's the developing
It's a
news.
fact.
Listen, Linda. Here's the developing news.
Shit.
Here's the developing news on the subject, though, is they both had albums drop right around this.
They're friends.
They're friends.
This was my conspiracy
obviously.
from the get-go.
There was a conspiracy.
Yes.
I seen it, but I didn't see it. And then supposedly the same producer produced
I knew
the
it
beef
immediately.
track.
Yeah.
And then here comes MGK with the album
it's the guy
dropping.
Paul
Paul
It's the dude
Rosenberg.
Yeah. He's,
So,
it's
well, 'cause
all
they're both
ploy,
on.
man. We're
Look,
stupid.
even though,
we buy it. We eat
right.
it up.
Well, here's the thing.
It's great.
Even though MGK is Bad Boy, he's still Interscope. So it's like you got Eminem, you got
Look, Diddy does not care.
Diddy don't give a shit
does not care.
about
It's
MGK.
just-
They're getting paid regardless. So it don't matter.
Exactly.
Nope.
And now it's all going back to Rosenberg because Interscope. So at the end of the day,
Oh, Rosenberg getting paid regardless.
Exactly.
They're all paid.
I mean,
We're eating it
look,
up,
I'm not
man.
going to lie. Like, MGK ain't got nowhere near as the talent or near
Not even
the
close.
the status. He's not even on Eminem's radar. I watched the video where he
I think
sat
they're
down.
friends. That's his.
It's his little baby, whatever. His
idol,
brother, his
man.
little brother.
Yeah.
So look, Eminem sat down with Sway, and Sway's like,
I saw the
bro,
interview.
you seen it too? And Eminem's like, I don't give two flying
Shut the
fucks.
fuck up.
Yeah,
He kept
Eminem's
saying
like,
it over
I
and
don't
over
even
again.
care. It took me a year to even realize this dude
That
talked
was
about my
happening.
daughter. So, you know what I mean? Eminem really didn't know MGK or about, I'm sure he knew of him, but it wasn't that big of a deal till a year later. And Eminem finally was like, oh, you're talking trash about my daughter. Now I have to get serious with
Now
you.
it's time to say
Now I gotta
something.
now I gotta pull out the sword and go to war.
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, I don't want to sound like the bitter old head here because I got a lot of Joe Budden in me when it comes to these type of things. You know what I'm saying? Before I
Yeah,
speak with
I watch all
you know
that
what I mean?
shit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the bitter old head coming into this. I'm not that old, but I'm well versed in the culture. You know what I'm saying? So,
Exactly.
but first off, you got to give props to the young boy for even coming at the goat like that.
Exactly.
Sure.
Ain't nobody else, dude.
That is career suicide in its purest form.
But at the same time, everybody's saying it's suicide. I think it boosted him to another level.
I think he got a little platform, and these young heads are saying, because you know how it is. It's like
They don't want to
I think the whole
support.
platform that Joe Budden created has made him be able to catapult himself to a new level because the young heads are like, we don't care what's being said. We're going to go with the young boy regardless. Screw the old guy. I don't care what he's
Exactly.
done. We're jumping behind him regardless.
Right. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it stirred up a lot of controversy. It stirred up a lot of publicity. So at the end
And it's good for the culture.
it's good for the culture because we need that beef again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nowadays, instead of people getting killed, it's a meme war online. So that's a friendly battle versus
Exactly.
we grew up in an age where DMX and Cannabis had a battle and you was
yeah.
looking for somebody to get beat up at
Oh,
the
you can
club.
really die off of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Nowadays, you know, with the exception of the Triple X kid, he got called up, but we still don't know what that really. I got a lot of conspiracy theories about that too. But for the exception of him, nobody has really caught the smoke like they did in the 90s. You know what I mean?
But you know the crazy part is I think 6ix9ine is doing those things gratuitously, and if he did that in the 90s, he'd been long dead.
Oh no, that's what I'm
Wow,
saying. All these guys that are trolling.
You're not
'cause
going
that's
to take
all it
another
is.
grown man's baby
You're
mama
not.
and publicly just take her out to the Gucci store and floss
Yeah,
on her.
nah, that
No,
would've
it's not going
never-
to happen
That's
like
true.
that. You know what I mean? It doesn't work like
in
that.
the Pac and Biggie days, he'd have been dead on arrival.
He'd have been there. And Chief Keef is supposed to be Mr. Sosa, Mr. Chicago. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The poster boy for all this killing in the streets in Chicago, and nothing is being
yeah,
done.
exactly. I mean, in a way, I'm glad it's not like it used to be.
I mean, I'm glad, of course. Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel like there's who's policing all this crap to go, no, this is not cool. Don't let it out. You know what I mean? I feel like the old heads are just sitting back and laughing. Like I watched Fat Joe do an interview on Drink Champs with Noriega, And he went there, you know, he called him right out. He's like, what do you think about the mumble rap industry and the new rappers? He was like, look, man, you know, I give them credit because they created a new lane for themselves because they can't go back and beat Pac and Big and all that. So they created a whole new avenue and a new lane. He said the only thing he didn't agree with was the rainbow shit and the colors and the piercings and all the extra. And that's where I'm at. I'm like, I don't agree with the image they putting out for the youth. I think it's stupid. But as far as the music goes, I'm okay with it because it's a new lane.
My thing is this, right? As far as expression goes, they used to persecute Rasta for having dreads. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Right.
okay, I'm not going to be so hard on how they look. I do think it looks stupid. My biggest issue is the lack of content that we're mass producing and giving to our youth.
Well,
They're
that
wondering
too.
why
Yeah,
our
we
generation is
pushing
dumbed
it.
down.
Yeah,
How do you have more technology?
right.
You have a smartphone in your hand with literally the answer to every question known to man.
Exactly.
And there are people out here that can't even read well trying to argue with you.
Right. And it's just stupid. The overall culture is
You
just,
can't even convey your point if you can't write.
exactly. How you going to debate with me about something when you can't even spell?
Your sentence structure is dumb. I don't care what you have to say.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And it's funny because Eminem dropped that whole album and he copied the mumble rap style, but he made it to where
He
you
did
could
it on
hear
purpose. It was a joke.
It was a joke,
It's
but
always
at
a
the
joke.
same time, it was some
But
of
the
his.
wordplay's still there.
Yes.
Exactly. The wordplay was so good. It was basically Eminem was like, look, I can do mumble rap too, but I can put the wordplay in there, which you guys can't. You know what I mean?
And that's my problem. Like, and I think M purposely went on a worse beat.
He did.
Yes.
And because we stopped, and we listen, I think the younger generation stopped even listening when the beat went on fire.
Exactly.
And they missed so many clever
missed all
things
the
the man
beats.
said
Right.
that went right
So
over
good.
people's head. The R. Kelly reference was golden.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
The Diddy and Pac.
Oh, gosh.
The Diddy.
Yes.
The Diddy reference was crazy.
The Diddy reference was
Yes.
shade, but these cats are not even young enough to even know what happened.
Exactly. That was one of those things where if you, like Pusha T says, if you know, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So it went
But
over.
my thing is this: if you look like Ether, right? We're in agreement that Ether's probably a 1A and 1B best this song ever, right?
Oh, of course. It's definitely in my
There's
top
no
10.
music video to that. Like how MGK done shot a whole music video to put a visual behind his words to make the whole more weight.
Right. Nobody did that back in the day. Well, I don't know.
No,
Pac,
there's no video. There's no music video to this song, bro. You
nah,
just
not
dropped the
really.
track.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pac did the hit 'em up one, but that was a whole different level.
That was a
Yeah.
real song though. That was on the album.
And it was a single. It got pushed on the album. Like it was a whole nother
You know what
level.
I'm
Yeah. But anyway, so we'll go on this forever. We're gonna have a whole nother segment about that one, and I'm gonna call you, of course. But you know, so let's wrap this thing up with, you know, what's your goals going forward, man? Like where you go from here?
Getting ready to go on another national run. The end of October, got some big things on the East Coast coming up as well.
Nice.
Getting ready to start getting things together to put the second album out.
Nice.
Just leveled up on the business side or whatever. Took care of a lot of things on our end. Representation wise, we have a label that kind of represents us. We want to continue to stay independent. And we love our freedom with that and just continue to push and get bigger. We have some international movements we're trying to make happen next year, and I haven't announced them yet, but we're getting a little bigger. So,
Nice.
just
Big
grow.
ups, man. Keep growing. It should always be the vision. I don't know.
Appreciate you, man.
I don't know if you're watching the live stream, but I got your logo, your little picture of your band, and your upcoming shows. You know what I mean? So everybody can see some of the upcoming shows. I posted in Northern Virginia and the Fredericksburg ones, obviously. So you know, everybody check them out. You know what I mean? Of course, you can find them on Facebook. Well, tell everybody where you can find you at. What's your major platforms that you do most of your posting at?
Facebook really is the thing we do because everyone else does it really. IG, the website is www.adwela.com, ADWELA and theuprising.com.
Right.
You know, pick up the album, The Road Less Traveled. You can pick it up on all major platforms. You know, Tidal
Nice.
as well. I'm excited about that. The Big Video One Plant, Big Video Warrior. Check the visuals. You know what I'm saying? And just, you know,
Right.
look out for 2019 Rebel Clips, the CBD and THC line coming out as well nationwide.
Cool deal,
That's the
man.
move.
Okay.
Big moves, man. I need some merch to rep, so we're gonna have to get up.
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
hoodies and tees out and tanks as well. And
Yeah,
everything
I
else.
just seen
Come out
that,
the merch,
so I'm
man.
like, yeah,
Protect the brand, please.
yeah, I might have to get up with you and get some merch so I can rep it. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Yeah, man.
dude. Hey, man. Well, thanks for talking to us, man. It was nice to pick your brain a little bit and figure out about you, man. And mad love to you, man. Keep rocking out there.
Definitely.
I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you guys so much. More love here.
Yeah,
No
well,
doubt.
love.
All right, man.
All right, man. Take it light.
Yup.
Bless.
All right.
All right. So that was a good little, you know what I mean? That's a good little session.
It's always great to talk to local artists.
Definitely. It's
and
always
people
great.
who have really worked hard
That are doing something.
make their dreams come true. They're
Exactly.
passionate about it. I think that he will always do music.
Nah, he's going to be there.
He will always be an artist.
He'll be there for a while.
That's phenomenal.
So let's jump back into my few little topics of entertainment this week that I wanted to touch on.
Okay.
Kind of like some trending news topics. So, of course, we had the storm last week. What was it? I didn't pay attention to it because I don't care about these. Florence. There we go. So, Storm Florence. I seen it. It was supposed to be coming here. I called it. I was like, look, it's going to dry out in North Carolina. It's never going to make it to Virginia. I think it hit Virginia Beach a little bit.
We got some rain.
And then we got hit with the rain today. We thought we was going to get a tornado. Everybody freaked out.
There were tornadoes in Virginia.
In Richmond.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were bad. They were not small tornadoes.
No, they were definitely big.
They tore some stuff up.
I know everybody probably seen this, but let's go to the clip of the TV weatherman called out battling to stand up in high winds as two men casually stroll behind him.
I didn't see this one. I'm excited to watch it.
So it's a short clip. Go ahead and check this out. So dude's over here like really selling. He's selling this. Oh my God, I can't walk. Right? And then boom, pause the video for a minute. Boom. So you got two guys just casually walking in their gym clothes like they're coming out of Planet Fitness. Like, what's this dude doing?
No big deal.
No big deal. So, I mean, if I was passing by, I would have been like, is that a camera guy over there? Like, faking?
I would have got in
I would have definitely got in the shot.
Absolutely.
And like, here, let me help you type shit.
Oh,
so I just found that funny.
It's wonderful.
It was funny. Because, I mean, I'm a big fan of conspiracies and stuff. And, like, I've always felt like the media is a big con.
It is.
It's a big con. So we'll
talk about that.
We'll have a whole segment about that too. So my next thing I found kind of cool and interesting is Richard Gere.
Okay.
All right. Yep. Everybody knows who Richard Gere is.
Most people do.
He's 69 years old. If you didn't know, I didn't know he was that old. And there's his lovely 35-year-old wife.
Okay.
Big ups to him. I didn't really.
What is it? Silver Fox?
Yeah, I didn't
really.
They
call those guys?
I didn't dig into her life and see if she was a gold digger or not, or if she had her own money. I mean,
Joking.
She definitely don't have.
I know nothing about
So anyway, getting to the point. So he's about to be a dad again at 69.
Okay.
So, they shared the news. The businesswoman. Oh, so she's a businesswoman and an activist, 35. She wrote a very special moment just a few minutes ago, getting blessings for her precious to come. We wouldn't announce it before telling. Oh, they had some religion stuff going on.
So first thing, you're positive she's pregnant.
Yes.
That it's not like a Kim K situation where
No, Richard Gere doesn't really care. I think they're pregnant. I didn't dig into enough, so hey, who knows?
I'm just wondering.
My main thing was, reason I'm touching on this is like,
he's 69.
What are your thoughts on that? Would you consider having a kid at 69? I mean, you got 3 kids already. I've got one.
At 69 years old,
I just can't see myself doing it.
It would be a goddamn miracle, I think, for a woman.
For a woman, you're right. You're right.
Those stories are so few and far between. As a guy,
I just couldn't do it.
It's tough. I mean, you think, 18 years from then, and you're borderline 90 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
So, and then on top of that, it's like, well, I guess in a celebrity status profile, like, I got the money and I'm not really working. I could retire.
But is the money what it's about? I mean, you have kids.
Well, no,
too.
you can afford it. It's the time. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's older than 20 years ago.
He looks healthy.
He does look healthy.
It could be healthy time.
This could be his peak.
It could be good for him, but for most people, I think it's a little wild. For her, she's fine. She's 35.
Right.
She's fine.
So moving on, we got my next interesting topic has to do with Domino's Pizza, right? So I'm looking through. You see the image of the Domino's tattoos. So there was a deal offered to people in Russia last week when Domino's Pizza in Russia began their Domino's Forever campaign on social media, offering free pizza for your whole life. The catch was, to earn the crust, people had to get a permanent tattoo of the Domino's logo on a visible spot of their bodies.
Wow.
So the post says, people who get tattoos will be given a certificate offering a maximum of 100 free pizzas a year for a whole century. So a possibility of getting 10,000 pizzas.
A visible tattoo.
But to get that many free meals, you would have to live well beyond the average Russian life expectancy. I found that funny. So, you got the images. They were creative with it. Dude put it on a skateboard. The other one put it like on a domino type thing where you can't really tell.
Sure.
My next question is, what food is that valuable to you that if your major like corporate brand
Pancho
food,
Villa.
so if Pancho Villa said we'll give you free food for
I'd
life,
freaking do it.
you would do
I
it.
would be about it.
You would throw it on your wrist and sport it proud.
I would. I absolutely would. I get whatever I want from Pancho Villa. Like, I just get to walk in and be
pretty much they
whatever
give
I
you
want.
some kind of deal like that where it's like, hey, you get your favorite
You
combo
guys
meal.
want someone to walk around. Pancho Villa ever hears this? Chips and salsa for life.
That's
Enchiladas
it?
for life.
I was going to say enchiladas
All of-
at
I mean,
least.
anything
I need a
pretty much
combo
on the
meal.
menu.
I need chips and salsa and a combo meal.
Yep.
Enchilada, because we eat the same thing. We had in Mexican one day, and we pretty much got the same thing.
Fajitas, you cannot
Right.
go wrong.
Quesadillas, whatever.
You cannot
I
go
can make it
wrong.
work. I didn't think about Mexican. I was thinking
So,
seafood.
Pancho Villa.
I was probably like Captain Joe's because their steam pots are like just killing it.
You would
Steam pots for life.
wait a second.
Seafood.
If I paid for your tattoo,
Seafood though.
I'm not gonna buy you seafood. But if I paid for you to get a Joe's Crab Shack tattoo on you,
I mean, you'd have to take me out to seafood for a while.
I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
I'll get a
Cancel
tramp.
it.
Look, I'll get a tramp stamp where you can't really see it. Put it on my back and just make it even more funnier.
It has to be somewhere presentable,
Visible.
like visible. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if Captain Joe's said, "Hey, put her logo on your forearm. We'll give you free
Okay.
steam pots for life."
Yeah.
They'd have to throw some alcohol in there too.
Yeah?
So free steam pots and 2
Okay.
drinks.
So Joe's
I'm in
Crab
there.
Shack
I'm
right
in
there
there.
on your arm.
Yep. Why not?
No conquistador, nothing.
No.
Just,
Yeah. Why not?
Okay,
So
all right,
last
fair
week,
enough.
Yolanda's not here, and we're just going to ramble on about our topics. We'll touch on hers towards the end, some of her topics, because we did get her outline. Last week, we did a segment where we were trying to give away free memberships to Gold's Gym. We failed miserably.
Really?
Because we didn't get it out during the episode, and I tried to go back and run a Facebook ad
Sure.
and get it out to people. Either people are lazy right now coming out of summer. Me personally, I just went back to the gym today. Fun fact, I ate whatever the hell I wanted all summer long. I did this little funny, I called it the Summer Dad Bod Tour,
Okay.
where
I
I
think I've
just
seen that on
went,
Facebook.
I just went around eating horrible food
Whatever
all
you
summer long.
wanted.
Whatever I wanted.
Food that made you happy, though.
That made me happy for
Yeah.
the summer. I had a great time with it.
Good.
And I go into the gym today with my daughter, and I'm expecting to be like a cow. And I only gained 8 pounds.
You know what, Mark? I'm leaving.
8 pounds. I won't put my daughter on blast and say how many pounds she gained.
You
'cause it's not
shouldn't.
cool.
No.
But she wasn't happy when I told her my number.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So we'll
Well,
leave it at that.
congratulations, Mark. I'm happy for you.
So now I'm going to do extreme cardio,
Good.
high incline, and I'm going to burn like 700 calories a day
Okay.
for the next month. And I'm going
At Gold's Gym.
well, I'm doing,
Is our deal still good?
yeah, I'm going to switch over to Gold's Gym. We
Okay,
got our
good,
deal.
Good.
So yeah, I'm just going to kill it. So back to that. If you call Gold's Gym or if you go in the Gold's Gym and you mention 360 Real Talk and the code word Sydney, you'll get a two free week
It's the gym.
membership to the gym. 2 weeks is enough to really have some fun and get to know your exercise. And we talked about all that last week.
Mm-hmm.
So that about does it for entertainment. So
Okay.
now, let's touch on Yolanda's top 5 at least, though. That's pretty cool. Where did her top 5 go? So I'm blind. Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead and cover her top 5.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so the top 5 things Yolanda misses from the 90s. Jinko jeans. She hates skinny jeans. I never got to wear the Jinko jeans. Did you wear them?
I never wore them.
You
I was
never
never
wore
into
them.
it. I was a preppy little kid.
Okay.
I tried to look good.
Okay.
I wasn't feeling the Jinkos.
I definitely did like bell bottoms. They were cool for a minute there. And
Bell
in the
bottoms,
90s
yeah,
with
maybe.
the platforms.
Right.
But the Jinkos, no, I never did any of the skating, any of that kind of. Also, I was born in '88, so I was a small person in the '90s.
Oh, so you're
okay.
80s baby.
Yes.
So-
Okay. Old school raves with mystery locations again.
I never was in the rave scene. I'm starting to wonder how old Yolanda is because in the 90s,
Those raves
I
were
was in
like-
high school, but I grew up in West Virginia, so we didn't do the rave thing out there. We were more in let's meet up in a field with some trucks and some beer and some weed probably
And I was like,
and some girls.
I was 9 in my bedroom, like
So you were
dancing
doing-
around
yeah,
to like
you were
house
watching-
music. Listens to this.
Right. You were still
What are you
watching.
doing?
Yeah, you were chilling at home watching My Little Pony or whatever you watched
Oh God,
back then.
it's Gumby.
Gumby. Okay.
Okay.
So moving on, what else we got from Yolanda?
Oh my goodness.
What was
okay.
Yolanda's? We
Oh,
lost her.
I lost my list.
We lost Yolanda's
Oh,
list.
no. I'm sorry.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Sticker books.
Sticker books are cool.
They're cool. I think they're still cool now.
Yeah, they're still cool.
Plastic bracelets are still cool now.
They brought them back.
The
They brought
front
them back.
counter. I don't know if they look.
I don't know if she meant the slap it bracelet or if she meant a certain kind.
Oh.
But I enjoyed the slap bracelet.
The slap
and
bands.
they brought them back.
Yes.
I was trying to pick things they did away with that didn't bring back. Obviously, with the Bill Cosby situation,
Oh my God.
we won't be getting Jello pudding pops back anytime soon. So, did we go through her list? Was that her list?
There was one more, and it was glitter.
Glitter. Everything glitter, she
Glitter.
says. So she was a glitter junkie.
What is it? The herpes of crafts?
Yeah. It was
Glitter.
the messiest one.
It will
that
follow
your parents,
you everywhere. I saw.
that was like the thing when it was arts and crafts time. I feel like that your mom would hide from you if somebody bought it for you.
It looks cool in the jar. Like your mom wants to have it in the house.
But as soon as you take it out, it's like that fine china for Thanksgiving. Do not eat on that any other time.
It's just there.
But let's put your glitter up on your shelf in your room so your room looks cool.
We know you have it.
But we're not
You
using
could use it.
without parental supervision, at least.
Don't use it.
Yeah. So moving on, we're gonna move on to your top 5 real quick.
Oh, okay. Oh goodness, where is my top 5? Well, I know what my number 1 is on my top 5.
So obviously you miss NSYNC.
I do. So, and they came out late 90s too. So it was like 1998, 1997, I think, when their first one, I Want You Back, came out. But man, NSYNC, the pop music of the 90s.
Yeah, the pop music. I mean, every kind of music from the 90s.
Some superstars. We're doing it again now. I mean,
coming back. It's coming back. All the old people are going back on tour and stuff.
Yeah.
They're not really making new music because why would they? They got classic.
Sure. And then, we did get JT, the
off on his
diamond,
own.
the diamond of the boy band
We got
era.
Beyonce that went out on her own.
I love Beyonce.
She's got
I really enjoyed
different.
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child was great.
It was wonderful.
I feel like Destiny's Child was better than Beyonce by herself.
I agree.
Versus,
hopefully no one ever hears us say that.
Yeah, I love Beyonce.
She's great. She's wonderful.
But I feel like the group was better.
The group, I think, was better.
Because it was more structured. It wasn't... Beyonce's grown as an artist, but now I feel like she's a rapper almost.
Kind of.
She's getting a little rough.
Yes.
I like it. I'd love to see women like,
She's coming into her own.
Yeah, exactly. And then the whole Jay-Z thing, they just made an album together.
There's so much backstory.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
It was cool in like the 2000s when they did like Bonnie and Clyde.
Right.
That was awesome.
That was cool because we didn't know back then that they were already a thing. They kept it a secret from us for so long.
Exactly.
Just like you had JT and Britney, we all knew.
But now it's like angry music.
Exactly.
And now she's
it's
like,
weird.
I know what you did. And he's like, I
don't
know
care.
You know what I...
Right. I don't care,
Get out of here, guys.
So moving on. So what else you got?
Tamagotchis.
Now, what are those?
You don't know what Tamagotchis
I
are?
looked those up, and I just don't remember it.
Okay, so they're little keychains, actually. They're like that big, and they're little animals, right? You got your little screen, just kind of like you'd play Snake on your Nokia,
right.
But you're raising a little animal.
That's what you meant in the outline when you said that.
Yeah, kids don't understand responsibility.
So it's kind of like that project at school where they send you home with a baby.
Kind of like that, but that usually happens in like high school.
Right.
And these
so
products
like
were aimed at like
version.
small kids.
Right,
through
the
anyone
kids.
else who
Grade
wanted
school.
them. Exactly. So Tamagotchis were pretty great, and they made their little noise, and they all died. I don't know anyone who ever was like, my Tamagotchi has gone on for so long.
Right. The lifespan was not that great.
It was pretty short, but
Right.
you just get more of them. I'm sure it was a great industry at the
time. So
time.
there was really no replace the batteries. It was like when they're dead, they're dead.
You can buy a new one if you want one a couple weeks later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is that it? I'm so blind.
Okay,
what else?
so 90s Saturday morning cartoons.
I missed that too.
Yes. So that was like, at least when I was growing up,
That
I had
was
like a
my
whole
thing.
separate room of like, when it's Saturday
Cartoon,
and
don't
children
bother
wake
me.
up, don't bother your
Right.
parents.
Don't bother
Go
me.
watch
Go
cartoon,
watch
make
cartoons.
a bowl of cereal
Yep. Sit
and
there and
leave
watch
me
them.
alone.
And you got like a good 2-3 hour stretch of cartoons.
Yeah, I miss so much.
And depending
so,
on how early you got up, like it was all morning. I mean, I remember
like
times.
7 a.m. Why are
yeah,
you
I was
up
gonna
so
say,
early?
why am I
That's
up necessarily.
Looney Tunes is
But then you
why.
gotten used to it, and then every Saturday you're like, I don't want to get up, but I don't want to miss the cartoons.
So what you do is you go into the room where the TV is, right? And you have your blanket
Take a
and your
nap.
pillow and your cereal.
Yep. I got everything I need. I'm going to take a nap on the cartoon that I really don't like as much.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I miss that a lot too. I'll tell you something else I miss is that Friday night series that had
Okay.
Urkel and
Yes.
what else?
It was like primetime TV.
Yeah, there was a whole
Full
little thing.
House.
Yeah, it was all
Yeah,
on there.
all that
So it's like
stuff.
for us kids that
Yep.
like before I got bad and was going out and doing crazy stuff. When I was a
watching
teenager,
TV, just
I was
going
just sitting
home,
home
doing
at Friday and like renting movies, renting video games,
From
and watching.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, no, we
Uh-huh.
didn't have a Blockbuster in West Virginia. It was
Oh.
like I don't even know what it was called. It was your mom and pop movie store.
Don't go in the back.
Yeah, exactly. Do not go in the back. Of course, I looked older when I was 16, so I hung out in the back.
Jesus Christ.
They had a little cherry slot machine in there too. You could win money. I got my first tattoo. It's a whole nother story. I got tons of stories.
At the back of a
Not
movie
the
store
back.
in West Virginia.
Not the back. It was actually a barbershop or a tattoo parlor, and they had one of those Cherry Master machines,
Okay.
the digital slot machine.
Sure.
Now they're popping in bars out here, kind of like that.
Yeah.
And like for every 100 credits, you got $5.
Okay.
And I hit it big one day and got a tattoo.
Wow.
It's cool.
Excellent.
Anyway, so is that your top 5? Did we
So
make it through it?
that was 3 of them. So I have the fashion and the summers. Those are my last
Awesome.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Wild Prince and just all of the nostalgia of being outside until it was dark.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
The
happen
light, yeah,
anymore.
well, my daughter even mentions that.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, "Wow, I wish I grew up in your time." And I was like, "No, you don't." But at the same time, you would have appreciated life more.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because I miss
Exactly.
that. Get your ass home by the time the street light goes out, or you're in trouble.
Right.
We didn't have phones, so it ain't like I could shoot my dad a text and be like, "Hey, we're doing something. I'll be there later."
Right.
No, you just knew to be there.
Right.
There was no getting around it.
Nope.
You know, at
And
one
you ate your dinner.
right, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah. Shoot, my stepmom was a school. She used to be a cook at a school. So when she cooked dinner on Monday, you were eating it till Wednesday.
Ooh.
It was rough.
Okay.
It was
She had a
rough.
lot. She
Yeah.
had a lot going on.
She only knew how to cook for big groups. So, all right. So moving in, let's get into your lifestyle
Okay.
section.
All right. So I don't know how many people are familiar with this. I saw it first on Instagram. This was an Instagram trend, and then I realized it was really huge on YouTube. So this is ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. Okay, and so this is supposed to trigger sensations in your skin. Starts in the scalp, kind of goes down your spine. It helps a lot with anxiety. It helps you relax.
Sounds very interesting.
It is super interesting. I didn't believe it when I saw it at first. I listen to my phone. I don't listen to my phone. I watch my phone. I don't listen to it. So I had to turn the sound on as I'm watching the trending video. So I did a little research, and apparently right now there's about 5 million videos on YouTube
Wow.
of people doing these ASMR triggers. So there's a lot of stuff out there. I think it's helping some people. I think it's weird in some
It's kinda-
situations,
I'm
but
like-
it's real. It's real.
Seems kind of weird.
It's a little strange, but it's a little soothing. Like, okay, I thoroughly dislike washing dishes.
I hate it too.
I really, really,
My
really
dishwasher's
dislike it.
broke, of course. If you're listening, my landlord, can we get that fixed? Yeah, it's really driving me crazy.
But there's something like so satisfying about like when I'm focusing on it and I have to do it, and it's like I am cleaning. It's like a scrubbing, and it's just I can't think of anything else except for scrubbing
I can't relate.
dishes. As weird as that is,
You know what the best part of
It's-
washing dishes is
I
for
think
me
it's
when they're
different
done.
for everyone. I agree. I have to like zone. It's like a zoning.
Yeah,
out,
you have
like,
to zone out.
Yeah, so I think this is kind of the same thing, but I found the top about 4 of these ASMR triggers. And the
this is
one that
crazy.
really got me was the soap, because the soap looks really cool to watch. You know, it's just kind of shaving these little cubes off. But apparently whispering is the
And you
first
have-
one. I
and
do.
you-
I
and
have a
you've got
soap.
demonstration
I
for
do.
us.
I do have a
So,
soap bar.
Let's check this
And
out.
I kind of pre-cut it. Okay, so we'll just get into this one first.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys can hear this.
So
Hopefully this soap is not too soft.
hold on.
Yes.
So cutting it and the sound itself is
It's-
supposed to be the thing.
The little blocks that are going to fall on the table.
So it's watching the blocks fall, or is it a mixture
It's
of
the
everything?
sound.
The sound.
I think it's just the sound, yeah. Because it's auditory, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm afraid. Just watching, I'm afraid I'm going to cut myself.
Same.
Please don't. We don't have insurance. I mean, it's a cool sound, I guess. I don't know if...
I think that's the noise. I think it's just the tapping.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I've got the
Okay.
headphones cranked up.
I don't think that I was really afraid of like stabbing my finger off.
We
So,
got
and
EK, the engineer,
we
over
can-
here helping us out with this little experiment.
we can try and clean the table off. So yeah, so that's one. And you can definitely hear the clicking, you know, the little pieces falling off and hitting the hard surface. And
Alright.
most of these videos are they're pre-recorded, you know, they go on and
Right.
on, and it's
I mean, just
continuously knocking the blocks off.
Looking at it, just the image of the blocks is cool to me.
That's satisfying
that's it.
right there. They're
That's it.
perfect little squares.
The
How
little
did you do that?
squares.
That's
The
a lie.
pixels. The pixels. That's like a pixel type thing.
Yes.
But the actually cutting them out and letting them hit. Yeah, I don't get it.
So I don't think that it's supposed to be relaxing for the person doing it. Clearly, I had a knife in my hand and I was going towards my hand and a bar of soap. That's a terrible idea.
Right.
But some of the safer ones include whispering, tapping, and crunching. So let me just give you a couple seconds of each one of those. So I'm going to do tapping first. Okay. Nothing? It's
kinda-
really weird.
It's kind of
It bothers
relaxing,
me.
but it's. I guess if I'm
looking
doing
at my
it,
hand.
if I'm doing it, but if I'm watching you do it, it's not really relaxing.
You feel like I'm mad?
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't know.
All right. So. Whispering. Whispering is supposed to be one. I feel like when I whisper, I'm still too loud. If I was ever hiding from a bad guy, they'd find me.
I feel like when people whisper in my ear, sometimes it's okay. It's kind
Like
of cool.
you're hiding in a closet. There's a bad guy in the room. I don't know why. I just automatically like freak out.
All right. Well, in a romantic situation, I like sweet nothings in my ear. That's about
Okay,
as far
that
as the
that could-
whispering can go.
Okay. All right. I see where you're
That's
going with that
relaxing.
one.
But other than that, I don't want
How
people
could you do this?
whispering.
I'm gonna try and do this as a job.
A whisper.
I'm just gonna whisper into a microphone on YouTube.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
What? So I have to watch some more of those and see if maybe I can figure out how they get serious
Yeah, we're gonna
about
have to
it.
dig into this one.
But okay, I want you to try this one too.
The crunching.
Crunching. Who doesn't like a good crunch? So this is supposed to be part of it, the opening the bag.
That's a no for me.
No tingles?
I'm not feeling it.
No tingles?
It's kind of annoying.
Shut up.
All I'm thinking about is like what kind of chips you got over there because I
I
might
just got
want one.
plain. I'm gonna share. I just got plain.
Okay. I think eating the chips is gonna bring me joy.
Okay. Try this out. Crunching.
Definitely not. That's one of my pet peeves is people like crunching when they eat. My brother, if you're listening, Alan, you know I hated that because he used to like chew and just. And I'm like, dude, you
can't
sound
do
like
it.
a freaking pig. Like, cut it out. I mean, chewing these
It's
chips.
so stupid.
Yeah, chewing these chips up is refreshing because I'm kind of hungry.
Right. Okay, so yeah, that is
That's that.
ASMR. The videos are all over YouTube. They're all over the place.
I
They're
didn't
on
even know
Instagram.
anything about this. Get one more time, sum it up. What's
okay.
ASMR stand for?
ASMR, autonomous sensory meridian response. So it's all your sound to your brain to your nervous system is
okay.
what's happening there.
All right.
So if you feel like it, check it out. Apparently, it's a really excellent for
I'll have
anxiety.
to look into it.
Maybe, and there's so many different triggers. So many. These were just the most popular ones.
Right.
Okay.
So then you got the straw thing.
Last
I didn't really
but not
read
least.
into your outline too much because we were rushed, so I'm learning this as we go.
All right, so we're at the end here. So this is the last straw. This is the last straw. This is something
I
that's
like
been
how you did that.
interesting to me over the last few months here.
Oh, the straw
so
thing.
We're starting to
Yes.
ban straws, and I think one of the first ones was Starbucks, and they,
That's crazy.
interestingly enough, came out with paper straws that are wrapped in plastic. So
Yeah, I don't get it.
So
I get it. It's an environmental thing.
Oops. But that's okay. Okay, so just a little bit of history. Straws actually started as paper, and they were dipped in
Okay.
paraffin wax, which is like a light candle wax. I think the paraffin dips on your hands, and it kind of seals in moisture. So it's just universally used. But recently, plastic straws were ranked 7th as the most common piece of trash collected in 2017.
I can believe that.
Yeah, so it's a lot. I've kind of read some things about how we still have real big problems with plastic bags. The little pieces of plastic that hold your 6 packs of soda cans
those
together.
things. Yep.
But apparently these things are just piling up. So I think there's been maybe one or two groups, but one specifically that's had kind of the biggest and most understandable issue with trying to ban straws. I mean, it's happening. It's happening all over California. It's starting to happen within companies that actually manufacture the straws. They're starting to see that there's this huge concern within communities, bars, restaurants.
Yeah, but what is this? I'm just over here like, okay, so what's the alternative to straws? We need
Yes.
straws.
So, and specifically people with disabilities.
Yeah, or just people that like straws. Why should I have to like stop drinking stuff through a straw because there's environmental issue?
Exactly. So you don't. I mean, we have so many other options.
Got to be alternatives.
I mean, plastic is just what we're used to, and we have to stop being used to plastic. It doesn't mean to me that we have to stop being used to having used something that's that kind of convenience.
Right.
So yeah, I think if we did it right the first time, all the way back in 1888, by the way, that was that.
First straw was 1888.
Invented.
Fun fact.
So it was patented in 1888. We had straws like all the way out through like prehistoric times, but it was patented in 1888.
So the funny
and
part
the guy
would
wanted
be,
to sip mojitos.
Hey,
out
I'm
of
with
straws.
you, brother. I'm with you because I like vodka with
In
straws.
1888. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here's a quick question that you might or might not know. What was that caveman straw? What did they use?
I did not read
didn't go back
enough
that far
about
enough?
it.
I'm just
I would
curious.
guess like a rock or maybe like grass.
Or a
Like,
rolled
really
up
into,
leaf
like,
or
weaving,
weave
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's where you need to go back to.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to find a solution, start where it started
Okay.
and make a new age alternative to what
Sure.
the caveman used.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know
So
what I
we have
mean?
steel. So that's a little bit new.
Yeah, you got
compared
to
to,
steal
like,
straws.
stone.
I've seen those.
Those are pretty cool.
They are
I
kinda cool.
think
They're
They're
reusable.
pretty neat. They're expensive, but they're reusable.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Okay, in a restaurant world, they can corporate franchise, they can afford those kind of things.
Sure.
But the mom and pop restaurant, come on now, they're not going to be able to afford it.
Sure. So there is still the idea of just kind of drinking out of the cup. Or going back again to those original straws.
Yeah.
1888.
Or the sippy cup lids.
I don't know about that.
They do it at Starbucks. It works. Coffee cup lids.
I specifically didn't bring that up because I'm like, do I want to be the
don't like
person
'em.
who asks if adults should drink out of sippy cups?
Right. Can I get the sippy cup lid because
that
you guys don't
wine?
have straws?
Ma'am.
Right. I couldn't do it either because I spill shit when I'm
Yes.
drinking like that. I'm like, oh.
And it's
clumsy.
everywhere. Yeah, no, I think the paper straws, the metal straws. But yeah, I think that's the last straw. Was that the last straw, Mark?
I mean, yeah. Well, I think. Let me see where we at on time. We might have a couple more minutes just
Ooh,
to
okay.
BS. Let's see where we're at on time. It should show us on our live feed how long we've been talking. 57 minutes. So yeah, we're about right on track. So tonight was cool. We got to talk to somebody from a national reggae band, Adwela The
Yes, thank
Uprising.
you.
Check them out.
Thank you
If
again.
you haven't fanned them and did all that, go check out their page. Check out their upcoming shows. They do play local a lot.
Yeah.
Now that I got more free time and I'm not DJing as much, I'm definitely gonna go check them out. Our top 90s things. The 90s is coming back though. We got a lot of stuff from the 90s
I
that
was going
is
to talk about chokers
circling back.
and not like wearing them as a fashion statement instead
Right, just wearing them just because. You know, we got a lot of '90s stuff coming back, so I'm '90s music. Everybody's touring again. Ja Rule and Ashanti's back on tour.
No. Why didn't you say this sooner? I have to leave.
Yeah, there's a
Oh
lot of
my
people that are back on
goodness.
tour. I mean, I did a couple shows recently with '90s people. I did a show with Maya. I did a show with DJ Cool. DJ Cool opened up for Jay-Z and Beyonce this year. Yeah, so he's on tour, flying around. I stalk him on his Instagram, and he's like selfies from airplanes.
That is amazing.
So they're making a comeback. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Do we think they should make new music? Maybe, maybe not. I like the old stuff.
I like the old stuff.
Don't ruin
Just
it.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it.
Just the
'Cause it-
oldies and goodies.
Right, because some artists, you know, that have cleaned their lives up and are not like in a like Eminem. I mean, I'm just the newest Kamikaze's the best piece of work he's put out recently,
Okay.
and
All
that's
right.
a sober album. You know what I mean?
I
He
think
just
it's
got
great.
he got mad and did what he does best.
I'm still on a conspiracy with that one. I think
I
that
am
him
too.
and
Yeah, they're
MGK
definitely
are
friends.
friends.
Definitely. So yeah, I mean, that's in a nutshell. We're 360 Real Talk. We're Mondays normally from 10 to 11 o'clock. We had a late start today because we were playing with some cool
But
stuff.
I hope you guys like the stuff.
I hope you like the graphics and
Yes.
the little effects that our great engineer EK added for us from FXB Public Radio. And if you haven't checked them out, you should.
You should.
He doesn't really do a lot of promoting. He does it for the culture. He loves just helping people out. So check him out. You know, check us out on iTunes, 360 Real Talk. We've got that going now. He got us on Google. So search up FXG Public Radio, search up 360 Real Talk. There's other shows on Public Radio, on the FXB Public Radio. You should definitely check them all out.
It's
There's some
FXBG.
interesting things on there that I might have to come and set in. I recently set in on Nick Faltz's show from Dope Dreams.
You
What's the
did?
name of his show again?
Below the deck.
Below the
Alright.
Deck. Sorry, Nick, I didn't remember your name of your show because there's so many.
Does that one
So-
say bread?
Tuesday, you know, you can check him out. He's a personal friend. He does like music and culture and stuff, so that's a real good one. But other than that, man, you guys keep tuning in, watching.
Every
Share the live video for us. Help us get out there. You know, we're not really putting any money to this right now. We're just trying to grow this organically. I feel like organic's the best to go in the beginning because you get real fans that actually care and want to watch.
Hey, and let us know what you want to hear. What you want to hear.
Throw
us
some
talk
topics
about.
out there.
Absolutely.
We're doing some cool, you know, we like to do cool pieces every week. And that's about it. 360 Real Talk signing off. Episode 2, September 17th, 2018. Check us out.
See you next week.